You know the exact video. You're scrolling on your phone at 2 in the morning, and suddenly your feed is hijacked by a 20-something influencer, leaning against a sports car, waving cash, and claiming to be a self-made millionaire. They look directly into the camera and deliver a very specific pitch. They tell you that a college education is a scam, and that working a normal 9-to-5 job means you are a sucker trapped in a broken system. Then comes the offer. For a limited time, and usually for exactly $997, they will hand you the exact secret blueprint that supposedly bought them their total financial freedom. The pitch is polished and highly convincing. It works because it is engineered to prey directly on the genuine anxieties of young adults who are desperate to find a financial way out of an increasingly expensive world. But there is a glaring logical flaw in the presentation. If an individual is truly pulling millions of dollars from complex industries like real estate or AI automation, you have to ask why they spend all their time desperately hawking a low-priced online course. Investigating their actual revenue streams reveals a significant disconnect between the business skills they preach and the cash flow that actually sustains them. These social media presentations are highly orchestrated commercials for a different industry altogether. For the modern internet guru, the act of teaching is the multi-million-dollar business. Every corporation needs a method for customer acquisition. For the online guru, acquiring targets relies on manufacturing absolute authority through the relentless visual display of extreme luxury. The sprawling estates plastered across their feeds imply massive property ownership, but public property records reveal the reality. These locations are almost exclusively short-term 48-hour Airbnb rentals. The supercars follow the exact same logic. They are leased under corporate shell companies, serving strictly as tax-deductible video props rather than actual personal assets. The ultimate illusion is the private jet. These are nothing more than hourly rentals for ground-level photo shoots. They never actually leave the tarmac. This rented lifestyle functions exactly like a traditional corporation's marketing budget. It is heavy overhead spent for one specific purpose: to artificially acquire a trusting audience. The mechanism that turns this rented authority into real revenue is a calculated psychological sales funnel. At the wide top of the funnel, the goal is exploiting insecurity. By constantly framing a normal working life as a failure, the creator generates a psychological vacuum in the viewer. Once that vacuum exists, the influencer positions themselves as the sole savior. They offer to pull you out of the rat race, starting gently with a free PDF or a $50 webinar. The trap springs at the bottom. The low barrier of entry builds misplaced trust, which is then weaponized in an aggressive upsell, pushing desperate victims into a $5,000 inner circle mentorship. It is a brilliantly efficient design. The structured funnel removes all humanity from the transaction, turning emotional vulnerability into a calculated, predictable revenue stream. When customers eventually realize their expensive mentorship consists of recycled advice easily found on Google for free, you would expect a wave of refunds to collapse the operation. To prevent total financial collapse, these manipulative businesses deploy a robust defense mechanism: gaslighting as a corporate service. When the promised riches fail to materialize, the creator turns the failure entirely back on the buyer. They tell victims, "You just didn't execute properly," or that they simply lack the champion mindset required to succeed. This creates a closed-loop cult dynamic. Inside this ecosystem, the guru is flawless and the customer is always at fault. This psychological manipulation is highly effective liability management. It ensures the business retains the capital even when the core product completely fails. The physical consequences are devastating. Thousands are liquidating emergency savings and maxing out credit card debt just to buy into these empty promises. The scale of the damage has finally forced the Federal Trade Commission to intervene. They've started leveling multi-million-dollar fines and systematically shutting down these massive operations. Federal authorities are now classifying these operations as organized financial predation. Exposing one guru rarely stops the machine. The system is incredibly resilient, and for every operation regulators shut down, 3 more immediately pop up in its place. As this flowchart illustrates, the buzzwords constantly shapeshift. Yesterday, the pitch was crypto trading. Today, it is dropshipping. Tomorrow, it will be AI automation. The central topic rotates, but the underlying business funnel remains identical. True value and real wealth require time, friction, and genuine skill. They do not shout from the deck of a rented yacht. There is one absolute rule for navigating the internet economy. If someone's secret method for generating unlimited wealth truly worked, they would not need to charge you $997 to hear it. Once you learn to spot the theatrical illusion of the rental life economy, the scam loses all its power.